Hey everybody, how are you today? I am a mess. Now that I'm a little bit recovered from what happened on Sunday, I kind of just wanted to tell a little story about it. It was just the most heartbreaking, devastating thing to happen after 4 long years of waiting for Keith to come back. Got the tickets in February. Comes July, the big day, I did a song of the day every day on my YouTube channel to celebrate. We would get closer and closer to the concert. And so everything was fine. Okay. I got there. I stayed in the car for about a half an hour to 45 minutes with the air conditioning on. I started walking to the venue, which is pretty far from the parking lot. But thankfully, there was a shuttle taking people back and forth. So I was able to get on that shuttle and we were taken, into the venue, which was fantastic. I already had a bottle of water with me and I drank the whole thing. And then I filled it up again and I drank that. Now, prior to that, I had had a 20-ounce Starbucks cold drink. Okay. And I was going into the restroom and patting down with cold water because I was trying really, really hard to not get dehydrated. And I thought I was doing good. I mean, I felt great. I was outside watching the band. I'm sure you've seen my videos. Band was fantastic. And then when it was time for the show at 7:30, I went in and I got in my seat. And we had to sit through this one lady called Ingrid Andress. I didn't really like her voice. It was just a little too high pitched for me. And to me, she was a little bit egotistical in a way because she acted like we came out to see her, rather than Keith. Look at my nose. It's so swelled up today. Oh my God. I look like, oh, sheesh. Anyway, I'm swelled in my eyes too. Like right here, there are two little bumps. So anyway, we had to sit through her. I had to sit through her. Some people liked her, but I just didn't care for her. I didn't care for her attitude. I don't know. Anyway, and she just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. But then after that, they usually play, background music for a while they're setting up the stage for Keith. And the last song was Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline. And the whole crowd started joining in. And it was so fun to hear everybody singing Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. So good. So good. So good. I mean, the crowd was so excited. They probably have been in the house for 4 years now, too. I'm just so excited to be out. And they were a rowdy bunch, that's for sure. So finally, when Keith came on stage, everybody stands up. Okay, that's normal. And I don't know why, but the 2 rows in front of me, everybody stood up and nobody sat down. That's always a big discussion we have in the Keith Urban thread on Facebook, you know. And I always create quite a stir if I say anything about it because everybody says, we're at the concert to dance and have fun. Why would we sit down? It's a big debate, of course. But to tell you the truth, I've only been to one concert where there were people who were rude enough to stand the whole time. And that was at Garth Brooks in Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. And these 2 girls, just 2 of them, with everybody else around them sitting, were up there singing and dancing and carrying on. And We were yelling at them to sit down and they refused. See, now that's just ignorance. Well, not ignorance, rudeness. That's selfish. They don't care that they're blocking other people who pay, money for their seat. So, yeah, Keith concerts are always very, very energized. He has so much energy, and it's just the energy in the room, and everybody gets excited, and I'm used to that. But for some reason that night, I got annoyed, and I think it's because this one guy in front of me was at least 6 feet tall. Okay, then his girlfriend was right next to him. I had to kind of look in between them, to see Keith. And thankfully, I had a zoom on my camera, a zoom lens, so I was able to get some good photos. But as far as seeing him without was kind of hard. Now they did have monitors up, which I was watching, but even then it was kind of difficult because those 2 rows, everybody was standing up of various heights, and I was having such a hard time seeing that too. And so I got to the point where I wasn't going to take it anymore. I got out of my seat and I went into the aisleway. See, these are the seats, okay? The front, section 2, which is where I was, and then there's an aisle that you go up and down on the outside, and the wall partitions were there. So a couple of us were standing there to watch. Excuse me. And I was doing great. I've done this before at concerts, I've stood in the aisles to take pictures with no problem. I didn't feel overheated at all. As you know, I can't stand a long time, so I started getting sore with my legs, and I decided, to go out to the outside of the concert area, to try and find a place to sit because I needed to sit. So there was a stone wall with shrubbery, and then a stone wall around it. So I went to go sit on that, and then all of a sudden, the world started going crazy. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I am going to pass out. And I kept saying to myself, do not pass out, do not pass out. And I was, taking deep breaths, but nothing happened. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on the ground, face down, and there were feet all around me. I could hear this woman asking me if I was all right. I couldn't talk when I first woke up. I was probably in shock, you know. And so it took me probably about 3 minutes to be able to respond to her. And she asked me my name, and I told her. They got me up into a wheelchair, asked me all the normal questions. What year is it? Who's the president? Where are you? I knew all of that. I was very, very aware of all of that. So, yeah. So those are things they have to ask to make sure, you're, you don't have a bad concussion or something, or whatever they have to do. So they took me into the safety office, and they had beds in there, and they had the guys that worked there were probably EMTs, and I got into the bed. Did I get in the bed? Or I think I stayed in the wheelchair the whole time. And towards the end, I got in the bed. They took my blood pressure. They couldn't get a IV in me because apparently I was dehydrated. Duh. So anytime they tried to poke me, got a nice little bruise right here, it wouldn't go in because the veins were not, showing up because of the dehydration. So I didn't get that done until I got to the hospital. So they told me, and they looked at this one right here, and they said, well, we we're going to send you to the hospital because you look like you need stitches. So they called an ambulance. They put me on the stretcher, and I was so out of it. There was like two of them pulling on the sheets to pull me into the stretcher. And they did the same thing in the ER to put me onto the bed there. Very, very nice people. I was at the New Hampshire Bank Pavilion. I think that was the name of it. And I was in Guilford, New Hampshire. I was there in 2018 for his last concert, and it was awesome. So this time, I don't know. I thought I was doing good. Apparently, I wasn't. So, as far as keeping the fluids in me. So, I went to the ER, and they were all male nurses. And I remember saying, oh my God, I've got 3 cute guys in here taking care of me. What more could a girl want? They totally ignored me. They probably thought, oh, she's out of her head, But no, they were cute. There was Justin and there was David, and I don't remember the third guy's name. But they were so professional and so nice and so sweet. What was the name of the hospital? Laconia, maybe? Laconia Concord Hospital. It was really, really nice people. And a fourth year med student came in and talked to me about what happened. And the doctor came in. Oh my God, was he hot? I'm like, everybody in this hospital is just gorgeous. He had these beautiful blue eyes, but he had a mask on, and he was so compassionate and so kind. And they did blood work, they did a CT scan, they did a chest x-ray. Everything came out normal. I just can't get over my nose today, how swollen it is. Oh my God. They did say it would get worse. But the greatest doctor, I need to shout him out. I need to find my papers. Hold on a second here. I don't see the name of the doctor on my papers at all. But yeah, it was the Laconia Hospital in Concord. I can't remember his name. I want to give him a shout out. I may even do that in another video because I did go onto the patient portal to, see my radiology reports and all that. So, but yeah, they were so, so nice. And, those gorgeous blue eyes. I guess I think everybody's gorgeous right now. Oh God, I'm a little bit more raunchier when I'm head trauma, aren't I? Oh my God. Oh geez, I'm a nut girl. Yeah, it doesn't say, but it's Concord Hospital in Laconia, and I remember Justin, I remember David, and they were so sweet to me and so nice. And so anyway, I'm uh, I'm disappointed because I would have liked to shout them out. I might do that in a different video. So they took very, very good care of me. They finally got an IV in me because they're more experienced, I guess. I don't know. And so I got some fluids in me and talked to the fourth year med student. She was so sweet. What was her name? I think it was Alicia. She was so kind and so professional. She's going to be a great doctor, I can tell. And we were laughing. I'm crazy, I try to laugh at things because the world is so, what are you doing? Hey, leave my Barbies alone. Wendy's been everywhere this morning. Up on the TV. Phooey, now I forgot what I was saying. Shoot, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I try to laugh about stuff. I have a good sense of humor, which really helps, and People I know, at least people in my past who I knew that were my age, are so serious and they act older. I don't act older, you know? I mean, I am still 20 years old in my head, even though my body is 64 and it's complaining about a lot of things. I just have a good outlook, you know? Um, I do. So we were cutting up in the ER, and one of the students said to me, "You have such a good sense of humor. That's great. And why be serious and dull in your life? Just because you're 64 or 65 doesn't mean your life is over. So many people are like, oh, I'm old and I can't do anything. A friend of mine wrote a message on my page, which I appreciated. She was concerned about me going out alone and told me that, Keith isn't really worth your well being. Well, I mean, this was really an isolated incident. I have been going to concerts for the past 20, 25 years by myself all the time. My husband's not into the music, and because of his back injury, he's never able to sit, for a long period of time. So I always had to go to my concerts alone. I went to see Keith Urban. This was my 10th concert. I saw Kelly Clarkson once. I saw Martina McBride about 4 or 5 times. I saw Reba about 4 or 5 times back in the day. And, going alone is okay. I mean, if something happens, something happens. I mean, I'm not going to stop enjoying my life and doing things I love, just because I'm older. And, I'm not dissing her. I mean, she had a good point. You are older now and you can't do things like you used to do. Well, I guess, some things. One thing I am going to do in the future is go to inside venues with air conditioning, because I don't drink enough as it is when I'm not out in the heat. So, and I thought I was doing okay, but apparently I wasn't. So, if at all possible in the future, I will be going to enclosed venues. I mean, there are so many states around me where I could go. There's Boston, all of Massachusetts. I could go to a concert, maybe upstate New York. I've even gone downstate New York, near Pound Ridge. My family live in New York, but they're right on the border of New York and Connecticut. So I went to the whole Mohegan Sun in 2018. Stayed with my family, enjoyed the concert. It was wonderful. That place is amazing. The best venue I've ever been to. No matter where you sit, you can see Keith so well. Beautiful, beautiful venue. So, yeah, I just, and another thing is, after you've lost somebody, like I lost my husband, we had really, really hard years after the baby incident. Um, he was devastated. He was never the same again. And I was devastated for 4 years. And Keith Urban actually took me out of my 4-year depression. He did. So I'm on TV. He sparked something in me. And I was no longer obsessed with the baby. I became obsessed with Keith. When I first, got into him, I was really, really excited about him. He actually had a fan club party that year. And it was just so much fun. And I'm not going to stop, unless I am disabled, in bed, and can't get up. I am going to see Keith all the time, every time that I can. Ticket prices have gone up so high, it's ridiculous. But back in the day, Reba concerts were what, $50? 80s, 90s? I saw her 6 times in Tucson when we lived there because she came to the same arena every year. And she was there when she was pregnant with Shelby. So big Reba fan, big Reba fan. But then once the ticket prices going up, I was like, it's not worth it. I'm only going to spend money on people that I really, really love. Okay, which was Reba for a while. And then she stopped touring. And I did see her in Nashville one time. And then I saw Kelly Clarkson, and that was a charity benefit, so the tickets weren't a whole lot. I want to say they were $25. They really weren't a lot. It was a charity for the local, oh God, for the local food shelters and stuff. So yeah, I love music, I love concerts, and I'm never gonna stop. So you'd have to time it down. So, my point is, life is so short. I mean, Dave was sick for a while. You know, um, his health started to deteriorate real bad. Unfortunately, in Sevierville, where it was absolutely impossible to find a good doctor for him because the doctor in Nashville had him on morphine for his back. 200 milligrams of morphine a day for Dave. Why he did that, I don't know. That's an awful lot of medicine. Or was it 100? I think it was 100 milligrams. And in Sevierville, East Tennessee, there is a rampant opioid drug problem. And because of that, none of the doctors wanted to give him the medicine that he'd been on for years. I fought with his doctors for years because they did not want to give him the medicine that he was on. And they had the records to say that he's been on this for over 5 years and you're not giving him his medicine? It was horrible. Health-wise, it was horrible in East Tennessee. And I can bet your bottom dollar that if we had stayed in Murfreesboro and not gone to East Tennessee, he probably would not have gotten as sick as he did. Because his doctor would have gotten him in the hospital the minute he started showing all of these dementia symptoms and such. He would have been taken care of. Whereas it was just such a struggle in Sevierville. And then they found out he had this nodule on his liver. He had cirrhosis. He was a very, very heavy drinker for a long, long time. Long, long time. So, of course, by the time, he went to the hospital one time and he had, shucks, what they call it. I forgot. Dang it, ring it. It's when you become mentally unstable in your mind. Hydrocephalus? Something like that. I can't remember. I've been, in the medical field forever, so I know a lot of things, but I can't remember that. And so he was in the hospital 3 times with that. And that's when they found that he had this little tiny cyst on his liver, and then the cirrhosis. So the last 3 years of his life were miserable for him. And I felt so bad. He never got over the situation with the baby. He was very depressed. He stayed home every day while I went to work at Dollywood, and it just ate at him, you know. and he just started deteriorating. So once I lost him, I was like, of course, devastated for 4 years again. I was in a depression, and I finally came out of it when I found Sing Snap and started singing on Sing Snap, and that brought me back to life. I hadn't sung in 4 years because Dave was my biggest supporter of my singing. And he was the wind beneath my wings, and that's why it's really hard for me to sing that song sometimes, because it makes me cry. But now, I've gotten used to being alone. I actually love being alone. I have no desire to get into any relationships with anybody ever again. I'm done. Will be celibate probably for the rest of my life. But that's just how I feel, even though we had a rough time, a lot of downs, but some ups, we were together for 30 plus years, and and a lot of it was sacrificing on my part because, once he hurt his back in Tucson, he couldn't do anything. So I had to do the grocery shopping, I had to do the house cleaning, I had to take care of the cats, I had to take care of the dogs, had to do the shopping, and work 40 hours a week. So my life was not easy, it was very, very stressful. So now I'm in the mindset that I paid my dues. I loved my husband, and I took care of him the best I could. And I'm so sorry that, he had to pass away. He had a lot to do with that himself. He had diabetes. He refused to stop eating sweets. And of course his health deteriorated. So anyhow, that's just as my thing as far as the concerts go. I love music, I love concerts, and I'm just going to keep on going. So thank you all for your concern. I appreciate you so, so much. I know this has been a long video, but I wanted to explain what happened at the concert and, give you a little bit of insight into my 64-year-old wisdom, I hope. Don't act like you're an old fogey. Go out and have fun. You could be gone tomorrow. We never know. I am lucky I didn't kill myself. If I had hit a rock or something, I'd probably be dead today. So be like us, the people at the Keith Urban concert. You saw them all singing Sweet Caroline. The two ladies next to me, were in their 70s, and they were having a good time. Become a Keith Urban fan and go to his concert, and you will be mesmerized and energized and just feel so good all over. He loves his fans to pieces. He's been saying it since he started back on the tour. He's so happy to be in front of crowds again, and he was on fire that night. He was so good. I'm sure you've seen my video. So anyway, that's my story. And until next time, Keith, I'm sure there'll be a next time. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.